Welcome back. Today I've got something kind of special to show you. Behind me are some lesser known tractors built in Plymouth, Ohio. Let's check them out. So on the left we've got a Silver King R66 and on the right a Silver King R44. The designation for those model numbers are rubber tires, and the tread width from left tire to right tire, this is about 44 inches, and on this one is 66 between the rears. They're commonly referred to as a four-wheeler and a three-wheeler amongst the Silver King communities. We'll start over here on the right and take a little better look at this one. So this is one of kind of later year production. This is a 1948, and when these came along they had a Continental engine. This one has been restored about 25, maybe 30 years ago. It's got really nice tires on it. Brand new, I believe, 2 years ago. Originally, these tractors were built and called Plymouths because of where they were built in Plymouth, Ohio. And they were built by the Fate Root Heath Company, which was, I believe, originally a locomotive manufacturer. They had 4-cylinder gas engines and 5-speed transmissions, and one big claim to fame was the speed that they would go. There's lots of stories out there about Silver Kings that would go 45 miles an hour. I've owned several of these tractors and I can't exactly say that that's true. 25 to 30 is definitely possible, though. They do get moving, as you've seen in the opening clip. This one has been converted to 12 volts. It's got a 12 volt generator on it. And this was really nicely restored back when it was fresh. It's getting some age on it now, but it still shows well. The front tires got some cracking, like I mentioned. The rears are new just as of, I believe, 2 years ago. Has the nice, harder to find headlights. It's not super common. Radiator in this one is nice. This is all cast, so for this not to be busted up anywhere is really good. It's pretty common to see a fin or two broken out of these. Had them out and running. You can see fresh up on coolant. They have sat for a little while, but I've tinkered with them here, and both are running good. Serial number on this one is 7801. Not sure if there's tags on these engines. There usually is, yes. F124 9055. There's a 47 up there. Really neat little tractors. Now over here on the left, we've got what would be, I think, considered one of the lowest production Silver Kings there were. There were some later ones called Mountain State machines that were built at a different facility, and technically you would consider those lower production. I think there was less than 100 of those built. But this one's a 1936 R66. Got spoked wheels like this. This one has the hubcaps, which are hard to find in good condition, let alone finding them at all. Rear tires on this guy are in need of replacement. I don't think I'd be doing too many high-speed runs on this set. This one was more of a repaint, I think, when it was done. I don't know if it was a full restoration. There's some bolt heads and such that these trap water in these areas pretty commonly, and if they sat outside for a number of years, the bolt heads get rough. So judging by the steering wheel and the bolt heads and stuff, I'm going to say this is more of a repaint in the past, but it still shows pretty well. I believe there were two different style front wheels on these, and this would be considered the original lightweight. I think this center casting was heavier on some of them. You can see where this one sat. Looks like in the dirt for a while before they, I guess you could call it a restore, before they restored it. Now this one has a 4-cylinder Hercules engine, RV Magneto. This would have originally been a crank start only tractor, but someone has changed the bell housing, which was pretty common in the day. They probably got the bell housing from the dealership back then, and they added a 12-volt starter on here. But this one doesn't have any charging, so you charge the battery up and they start so easily, you'd get, you know, a ton of runtime before you had to put a maintainer on that battery. But the hood's in pretty nice shape. No big dents or gouges. Has a typical little rust pitting around here. They both run very well, and I will drive them around for you here shortly. Serial number on this one is 1072, and I believe these engines have a tag on them as well. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess I'm not seeing one. I guess if you're interested, there's your casting numbers. But just really neat little tractors. Pretty wacky to sit on. You kind of look where you're sitting on these things. You really hang off the back, and you got about 14 inches in between the seat and the brake pedals, so they were not the most ergonomic machine by any stretch of the imagination. Antifreeze looks good in this one. It will need a replacement radiator cap. The fins have disintegrated over the years. You don't need those, but they do help. Oil is up, looks good on this machine. This one runs really well, and mechanically I think it's in pretty darn good shape. Oil is up to the full line in this one, looks good. Now this does have a little bit of I believe a carburetor issue to it. It likes to have a little bit of choke when it's running. I know the carburetor's been cleaned on it in the past, and it may have gunked up again or something along those lines, but this might need a little carburetor work, but you'll see it does run well otherwise. So I'm going to start up this R44 and drive it around, and you can see how it does. you've seen, this one runs good, it drives good, all the gears work. Did notice the left brake is a little bit weaker than the right brake, and you've got to mess with the choke a little bit while you're running it. So like I said, there might need to be a little bit of work done to the carburetor on this one. Now I'm going to run this R66 around and show you how everything works on it. As you've seen there, this one runs just as good, if not better, than that other. Little Hercules just purring along. The chattering, rattling noise you hear is the drawbar in the back. I don't believe the temperature gauge on this one is working correctly. The oil pressure is though. Just a hint. Well, I might be wrong there. Might just been some old gas. I thought there was a hint of smoke with this one, but contrast against that white roof. Maybe not. That's even better yet. As you can see, all the gears work correctly. It's got the power to pull itself in road gear, and this one is a high-geared little tractor. It will run along pretty good. So if you really like what you see behind me here, there's a good chance if you act fast, you could own these two pieces of rare agricultural history. I will put a link to the sale ad in the description of this video and a way to contact me. These machines are located in the Northwest Ohio area, and anything else you'd like to know or pictures you want can be had through that email. Really, two nice examples of Silver King tractors here. They show very well. You could take them to shows this summer yet. And they're fun, and there's a good chance nobody else is going to have another R66. Unless, of course, you go to the annual Silver King show in Plymouth, Ohio. There's probably a couple there. But appreciate you all watching, and hopefully you like this little basically a sale ad, but hopefully it's of interest to you and you enjoyed it. So appreciate it, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.